Students, good morning. I hope that you are all are doing your studies well. And today, students, we are going to start a new chapter of science, that is chapter number 8. The name of the chapter is Reaching the Age of Adolescence. So, in this chapter, we will talk about that what is this adolescence stage. This chapter contains some more topics that we are going to discuss in this chapter one by one. So first of all, this is the part first of this chapter that contains the certain topics. So the contents of this chapter are: the first one is we are going to study about the endocrine system, adolescence and puberty, changes during puberty, secondary sexual characters, role of hormones, initiating functions, reproductive phase of life in humans, determination of the sex of a baby, role of hormones in metamorphosis and reproductive health. So these are the topics that are found in this chapter, and we are going to talk about all the topics one by one. So let's start with the first topic of this chapter, that is adolescence. As we are knowing that in the previous chapter that we have learned that the human male and female reproductive system. We have also learned that how the human beings reproduce by giving birth to babies. Babies grow and become children. Children grow further and becomes adolescents. And finally, the adolescents grow and become adults. It is only after growing up to a certain age that human beings are able to reproduce. The human beings can reproduce by giving birth to babies only after a certain age, because their reproductive system starts working only after a certain age. So in this chapter, we will learn about the changes that takes place in a human male body and a female body, after which a person becomes capable of reproduction. In other words, we will say that we are going to learn about the changes which takes place in the boys' bodies and girls' bodies, after which they become capable of reproduction. In this chapter, we are also going to discuss about the role played by the hormones in initiating the working of male or boys, female or girls' reproductive system and make them fit for the process of reproduction. So, it is the hormones which bring about the changes and that makes the child to grow into an adult. We are going to talk about the hormones in this chapter also. So here, the first topic is about the adolescence. Now we are going to talk about that what is adolescence. So first of all, we know that what is this adolescent stage. As we know that growing up is a natural process. Growth begins from day to day. A baby is born. Baby grows and becomes child. A young human beings below the age of full physical development is commonly known as child. So the young human beings that below the age of full physical development is commonly called a child. When a child crosses the age of 10 or 11 years, there is a certain change occur in or her body which becomes noticeable. The rapid changes that takes place in the body from this age onwards in the part of growing up. These changes indicate that the person is no longer a child, but he or she is on the way to becoming an adult. So a mature human being who is fully grown and developed is commonly known as adult. So this is the difference between the child and adult. So how you will define the child? Child means the young human being below the age of full physical development is commonly known as child, and a mature human being who is fully grown and developed is commonly known as adult. So we can differentiate the child and adult like this way. So there is a period of life in human beings when a person is neither a child nor a adult. There is a stage come in the life cycle of the human beings when the person is neither a child or nor a adult. And this transitional period of physical and mental development which occurs between the childhood and adulthood is commonly known as adolescence. So we can say that this transitional period between the transitional period of physical and mental development which occurs between the childhood and adulthood is commonly known as adolescence. Or in simple words, we can define it like this: the period of life between the childhood and adulthood is called adolescence. Or we can say that adolescence is the time when a lot of changes that takes place in the bodies of boys and girls which make their reproductive system mature. Or in other ways we can define it like this: the period of life of a person when the body undergoes a lots of changes and leading to the reproductive maturity is called adolescence. So I have told you that how we can define this adolescence. By different ways we can define it. Some of the changes which takes place in the boys during adolescence are: facial and body hair grow, voice deepens, testes starts to make sperms, and some of the other changes that takes place in girls also during the adolescent stage, like breast grows, ovaries start to release eggs or ova, and the menstruation or monthly periods begins. So about all these changes that takes place during this adolescent stage in boys and girls, so we are going to talk about all these things in this chapter one by one. So I have told you about that what is adolescence. Now the next topic is, we are also going to study about the puberty. Now we are going to know about that what is puberty. As I have told you about that what is adolescence. Adolescence is the time period between the childhood and adulthood. It is a transitional period between the childhood and the adulthood. And puberty is what? It is a time when the adolescents become sexually mature. When they become sexually mature, when the adolescents become sexually mature, this period is known as puberty. Now we are going to talk about, let's know more about that what is this puberty. Although a baby is born with a full set of reproductive organs, male or female organs, these organs do not function during the first 10 or 12 years of life, but these they both have the reproductive organs, male or female, and these organs do not function during the first 10 to 12 years of life. And under the influence of hormones that is present in the body, the reproductive organs becomes active at the time as puberty. So they become functional, their reproductive organs becomes, we can say that their reproductive organs become functionals, and this is mainly due to the influence, this is mainly due to the release of the hormones, and due to the release of the hormones that makes their reproductive organs active, and this happens at the time, that time is known as puberty. So in other words, the reproductive system of the humans, or we can say the boys or girls, start functioning at the time, and this is known as puberty. At puberty, the sex hormones or the gametes begin to produce, due to which the boys and girls become sexually mature. So how they become sexually mature? They become sexually mature due to the release of the sex hormones or gametes. So due to the release of these gametes or the sex hormones, the boys and girls become sexually matured at this puberty stage. So we can define it like this: the period during which the adolescents boys and the adolescents girls reach the sexual maturity and become capable of reproduction is commonly known as puberty. Or in other words, we can define it like this: after attaining the puberty, an adolescent boy or girl becomes capable of having a baby. Puberty is a period of several years in which the rapid physical growth or rapid body growth occurs, leading to the sexual maturity. In fact, puberty is the time when the child's body starts changing into the, so it is a time, so we can say that it is a time when the child body starts changing into a adult's body. So the puberty starts earlier in girls. In girls, what happens? It starts earlier in girls than in boys. Generally, in girls, attain the puberty at lower age of 10 to 13 years, while the boys the puberty is comparatively higher age of 12 to 14 years. At puberty, there are many changes occur in the bodies of boys and girls. In both boys as well as in girls, there is a rapid increase in the rate growth height during puberty. Puberty is also marked by the development of the secondary sexual characteristics in boys and girls, such as the growth of the facial hair, deeper voice in boys, and development of breast, and starts of menstruation in girls. So the most significant sign of puberty in girls is the beginning of menstruation, or we can say the monthly periods. So I have told you about that what is puberty stage. Now we are going to talk about the changes at the puberty. So there are various changes that occurs in the boys during the puberty stage. These are as follows. Hair grows on the face of the boys in the form of mustache and beard on the chest. The voice deepens in the boys and it becomes low pitch voice. The testis starts to make sperms. Testes and penis becomes larger. The chest and shoulders of the boys broaden, become wider, body becomes muscular due to the development of muscles. Hair grow in armpits and pubic regions, genital areas between the thighs. Rapid increase in height occurs. Feelings and sexual drives associated with the adulthood is beginning to develop. So these are the certain changes that takes place during the puberty stage in boys. Now we are going to know about that. I have already told you that there is a sudden increase in the height. There is a sudden increase in the height of the boys or the girls during this stage. Now, average rate of growth. Now we are going to talk about the average rate of growth. So here there is one table that is given to you, where in the first column the age in years is given, and in the second column the percentage of the full height of the boys and the girls is given. So at the age of 8 years, the percentage increase in the height of the boys is 72%, while in case of girls it is 77%. At the age of 9 years, the percentage increase in the full height of the boys is 75%, while in case of girls it is 81%. At the age of 10 years, boys increase in full height is about 78%, and in case of girls it is 84%. So look at this table, and after attaining the age of 18 years, both the boys and girls have attained their full height, 100% and 100%. So with the help of this table, we just get one conclusion, that the rate of the growth in the height varies in different person. Some boys and girls may grow suddenly at the puberty and then slow down, while others may grow gradually. All the parts of the body do not grow at the same rate. Sometimes the arms and legs, or the hands or the feet of the adolescents, boys and girls, look oversized out of the proportion with the body, but soon the other parts catch up with them in growth. This results in a more proportionate body. So the average increase in the growth in the height of the boys and girls with the age is given here in this table. Now here for example, this at the age of 10 years, the boy reaches only 78% of its full height, while the girl reaches 84% of its full height. So here by using the data that is given here in this table, we can also draw the graph to show the variation in the percentage of the full height in the boys and girls with the age. Now we can also make the graph with the help of this. Here there is a calculation for the full height is given to you. How you are able to calculate the full height? So we can calculate it by using this formula. Full height of a person, we can calculate it by using this formula. The full height of a person is equal to the present height of a person is divided by the percentage of the full height at the present age into 100. So there is one example that is given to you. A boy is 9 years old and 120 centimeter tall. At the end of the growth period, he is likely to be, here the 9 years old boy is and he is 120 centimeter tall. His height is given here, so you have to calculate the full height of a boy. So how you can calculate it? You can calculate it by using the formula. The full height of a person is equal to present height of a person is divided by the percentage of the full height at the present age into 100. So here 120 is given to you, that is divided by 75%. At the 9 year of age, from the table we will get the information. At the 9 year of the age, the percentage of the full height in case of boys is 75%. So 120 is divided by 75 into 100. So the answer is 160 centimeter tall. So the full height of a person, we can calculate it by using this formula. So by this way we are able to calculate the full height. Now there is one activity that is given to you. By the age of 11, a boy has reached 81% of his age, while a girl has reached 88% of her full height. Draw a graph. So how you can draw the graph? We can draw the graph like this way. So by using the data, we can draw a graph. We can take the age on the x-axis and the percentage of the full height on y-axis and plot the various readings given in the table on the graph paper. So the graph that is obtained is shown to you in this figure. We can see from the graph that is given to you that initially the height of the girls increases at faster rate than the boys, but by about 18 years of age, both the boys and girls have reached their maximum height. By using the graph that is given to you, we can find out the percentage of the full height of a girl at the age, say 12.5 years. We can also calculate the full height of a boy or a girl might eventually reach. This will become more clear from this. If we know the present height of a person, of a boy or girl, or present height of his or her full height at the present age, we can calculate the full height of a person which he or she will eventually reach, and this can be calculated by using this formula. Full height of a person is equal to present height of a person is divided by the percentage of the full height at present age into 100. So we can calculate it like this. And the given graph that is the graph that is given to you, this graph mainly shows that the girls, there is a rapid increase in the height of the girls in comparison to the boys, but after reaching the age of 18, both have attained the same height, means 100% boys and 100%. There is an increase in the full height of the boys 100%, and there is an increase in the full height of a girl, that is about 100%. So at the age of 18 years, both have attained the same height, but in the earlier stage there is a rapid increase in the height of the girls in comparison to the boys. So this is clear from this graph that is given to you. Now change in the body shape. Now we are going to know about that. What are the changes that takes place? The change in the appearance takes place, the change in the voice takes place, and the change in the body shape is also takes place. So these are the certain changes that takes place during the puberty. Now we are going to know about this. The shoulders, in case of boys, the shoulders becomes broader and the chest becomes wider. The muscles of the body grow more prominently, and in case of girls, the region below the waist becomes wider and the muscles of the body do not grow prominently. So this happens in case of boys, and this type of change in the body shape that occurs in case of girls. Voice change. Now we are going to talk about the voice change. Now here we are going to talk about this. Our voice, or we can say the sound, is produced by the voice box, and the voice box, where it is found in our throat. Voice box is commonly known as larynx, and at puberty the voice box or the larynx begins to grow in boys as well as in girls. The growth of the voice box in boys is much more than the growth of the voice box in girls. So if we compare the growth of the voice box in case of boys and girls, we will find that there is an increase in the growth of the voice box, more increase in the growth of the voice box in case of boys in comparison to the girls. And due to the voice box in boys becomes much bigger than the voice box in girls, this means that the grown-up boys have the bigger voice box in their throat, whereas the grown-up girls have the smaller voice box in their throats. The bigger voice box in boys gives deeper voice, or we can say the low-pitched voice to the boys. Thus the voice of the boys changes at puberty and becomes deeper because their voice box enlarged too much and become bigger in size. There's a one question that may be asked to you, that why the voice of the boys are more deeper than girls. The answer is what? The voice of the boys changes at puberty and becomes more deeper because their voice box enlarged too much and become much bigger in size. So the bigger or the larger voice box in grown-up boys, that can be seen in the form of the bulk, or we can say the projections in the front of the throat of the neck, and that bulk is commonly known as Adam's apple. So we are going to talk about the Adam's apple in this chapter. We are going to know about that, what is this Adam's apple and where it is found. So Adam's apple. So here there is a one diagram that is given to you that shows the Adam's apple in boys. This is commonly a type of bulk, or we can say the projections at the front of the throat. So it is a type of projection or bulging at the front of the throat or the neck in grown-up boys, and this is commonly known as Adam's apple. Adam's apple is formed in grown-up boys because their voice box is bigger in throat. So why it is formed in grown-up boys? Because their voice box is bigger in throat, and it is commonly known as Adam's apple. That is mainly after the story of the Adam, that was the first man created by God, and the Eve, the first woman created by the God, described in the Bible, in which the Adam ate a piece of forbidden fruit, apple, in the Garden of Eden, which got stuck in his throat. And Adam's apple sometimes look like a small rounded apple just under the skin in the front of the throat. Thus, Adam's apple is a feature of throat or neck of grown-up boys, and it is a bulk or bump in the throat or neck. So there is a harsh or rough voice in that. Harsh and rough voice is commonly known as hoarse voice, and this hoarse voice is commonly in Hindi we can say that it is a fati awaj. In adolescent boys, sometimes the muscles of the growing voice box go out of control, due to which their voice becomes hoarse. And this state of hoarseness of the growing voice box go out of control, and the voice may remain the hoarseness of the voice may remain for few days or few weeks, after which the voice becomes normal. During this time, the vocal cords of the voice box or larynx gets adjusted to the new bigger size of the voice box, and this is mainly due to the adjustment of the vocal cords of the voice box, which gets adjusted to the new bigger size of the voice box. In case of girls, the voice box or larynx is comparatively smaller in size, due to which it is hardly visible to outside. So the girls do not develop Adam's apple at puberty. The boys develops the Adam's apple at the puberty stage, but the girls do not develop any kind of Adam's apple at puberty stage, because their voice box is comparatively smaller than the voice box of the boys. Smaller voice box in case of girls, that gives the shrill voice, or we can say the high pitched voice to the girls. So what happens in case of boys? In case of boys, their voice is more hoarse and high, and their voice is low pitched voice. But in case of girls, their voice box is comparatively smaller, so their voice is high pitched voice and shriller voice. So this is about the Adam's apple that is mainly found in the boys at the puberty stage, and I have told you about that, where it is found and how you will define that what is Adam's apple. We can define it like this: the bulb or the projection at the front of the throat or neck in grown-up boys is commonly known as Adam's apple, and this Adam's apple is formed. This is mainly due to the larger voice box. This is mainly due to their larger voice box, and it appears like apple, so that's why its name is Adam's apple. So this is about the Adam's apple. Now the next topic is about the increase in the activity of the sweat glands and the sebaceous glands. So we are going to study about this, that there is increase in the activity of the sweat and the sebaceous glands. We are going to know about that, which type of gland is known as sebaceous glands. So let's talk about this. So there are certain changes that takes place in the body of the boys and girls, that in which I have already told you about. There is a rapid increase in the height. There is an enlargement of their voice box. In case of boys, their voice box is more larger in size in comparison to the girls, and Adam's apple is mainly visible in boys' throat. So this is about the certain changes that takes place in their bodies. So this is also one of the change that also occurs during this stage, during this puberty stage. So there is a secretion of the sweat glands or the sebaceous glands, or we can say the oil glands is increases. Sebaceous glands is commonly known as oil secreting glands. So their activity is also the activity of the sweat glands as well as the activity of the oil glands is increases during this stage. They secretes more sweat, or more oil is secreted by the oil glands. So the many young people gets acne and the pimples on the face at this time because of the increase in the activity of these glands in the skin. So there is a development of pimples or acne on the face. Many young boys and girls gets pimples or acne on the face during puberty. The pimples and acne are formed due to the increase in the activity of sebaceous glands and sweat glands present in the skin. This happens as follows. The level of the hormones in the boys and girls rises too much at puberty. These hormones stimulate or increase the activity of the sebaceous glands and the sweat glands present in the skin. The increase in the activity of the sebaceous glands, or we can say the oil glands, causes them to secrete more oil, and there is an increase in the activity of the sweat glands that makes them secrete more sweat. So the excess oil and the sweat glands gets collected in the tiny pores of the skin, and the accumulation of the oil and sweat and the dead skin cells blocks and the tiny pores in the skin of the face. Bacteria grow in this mixture of the oil and sweat and the dead skin cells in the blocked skin pores, causing the swelling and redness of the skin, which leads to the formation of pimples. So the pimples are formed by this way. Thus the pimples are caused by the clogged and infected skin pores. These pimples are mainly resulted due to the clogged and infected skin pores. The outbreaks, too many pimples occurs often, and it is considered as acne. Pimples and acne occur most commonly during the adolescence, and it is most commonly observed during adolescence stage. In most of the boys and girls, pimples and acne diminish over the time and tend to disappear by the time one reaches the age of 18 or 19 years. and in some they continue into adulthood. So this is about the increase in the activity of the sweat glands and about the sebaceous glands. So we have talked about that due to the secretion of the hormones in the bodies of the boys and girls during this adolescence stage, that hormones stimulate the action of the sweat glands and the sebaceous glands, or the oil secreting glands. They stimulates the action of these glands to secrete more sweat and to secrete more oil, and due to the increase in the secretion of the oil and due to the increase in secretion of the sweat, that may result in the formation of the acne or the pimples on the face. So this is about this. Now the next topic is about the glands. Now we are going to talk about the glands. As we have already talked about the sweat glands and the sebaceous glands, these glands releases their secretion through the ducts, and these are the glands that releases their secretion into the duct. Endocrine glands, these are the glands that release the hormones directly into the blood streams. Endocrine glands is a type of glands that do not have any kind of duct, so they just release their secretion directly into the blood stream. So that's why endocrine glands is commonly known as ductless glands. Sometimes the question may be asked that why the endocrine glands are known as ductless glands. That is mainly due to this reason, because they do not have any kind of duct and they just directly just release the hormones into the blood stream. So that's why they are known as ductless glands. So we are going to talk about the different types of endocrine glands in this chapter one by one. And these are the glands that I have told you about, the sweat glands and the sebaceous glands. These are the glands that have the duct. So that's why they secrete their secretion into the duct. They do not secrete their secretion directly into the blood streams. So this is about the glands. Now the development of the sex organs in case of boys and girls. Now we are going to talk about that there is a development of the sex organs during this stage in the body of the boys and the girls. So the testes and penis developed completely during this stage, during this puberty stage, and the testes also begin to produce sperm. In our previous chapter, as I have already told you about that sperm is a type of male gamete, or we can say the male sex cells, and it is produced. Where it is produced in the testes. Testes is the male reproductive organ. So during this puberty stage, the testes becomes totally mature and it starts producing sperms. So their penis also develops completely. So there is a development of the sex organs during this puberty stage completely occurs. Similarly, in case of girls also, the ovaries enlarge and the eggs begins to mature. Similarly, the similar things occurs in case of girls also. Ovary is the female sex organ, and where the formation of the male-female gamete like ova or egg takes place, or female gamete takes place, it takes place in the ovaries. So the ovaries becomes enlarged and starts producing the matured egg. So this is about the development of the sex organ in case of boys and girls at the stage of puberty. Now, they also reach the mental maturity, intellectual maturity and emotional maturity. Now we are going to talk about all these 3 points one by one. So when a person reaches the puberty, he or she becomes adolescents. Adolescence continues up to the age of 18 or 19 years, and this adolescent stage continues up to the age of 18 or 19 years, and during the adolescence a boy or girl reaches the mental, intellectual and emotional maturity. Mental, we can say it in Hindi like this: मानसिक, intellectual means बौद्धिक and emotional means भावनात्मक. So adolescence is a period which brings the maturity in a person's way of thinking. At this stage, what happens? The adolescents, boys and girls, spend considerable time thinking about many things occurring in their minds. During adolescence, the mental maturity makes the boys and girls more independent, and they want to become more independent than before. What happens that in case of adolescence is that a period in which also brings the intellectual maturity, and due to this intellectual maturity, the boys and girls get into the habit of reasoning, understanding the things objectively. In fact, adolescence is the time in one's life when the brain has the greatest capacity of learning, and this is the adolescent stage in which the brain have the greatest capacity of learning. The changes which occurs in the body of the boys and girls during this adolescence may cause the emotional swings also. The emotional swings shows the intense feelings such as joy, anger, boredom, worries, sadness, which are not based on reasoning or knowledge. The adolescents also become self-conscious. Sometimes the adolescents feel insecure also, not confident, while trying to adjust the changes in the body and mind. So, there is, however, no reason to feel insecure. The changes that takes place in the body and the mind during adolescence are the natural part of growing up process. Every human being has to pass through this stage. Our parents have passed through this stage, now we are passing through this stage, and one day our children will also pass through this stage in life. So this is about the mental maturity, intellectual maturity, and emotional maturity. Now, secondary sexual characters in boys and girls. So the boys begin to grow facial hairs, that is the mustache and beard. The hairs also begins to grow on the chest, under the arms, and the region above the thighs or the pubic regions. Similarly, in case of girls also, there is a development of the secondary sexual characters, like breast begins to develop, the hairs begins to grow on the chest, under the arms, and the regions above the thighs or the pubic regions. Hormones. Now we are going to talk about the hormones. So first of all, we know that what is hormones. Hormones are the chemical substances which control activities of living organism, including human beings, and also their growth. So they control the activity of the living organisms, including human beings, and their growth. So these are the chemical substances which coordinate all the activities of the living organism. Hormones are made and secreted by the specialized tissues in the body, and that specialized tissue is commonly called endocrine glands. So where this hormone is made, it is made and secreted by a type of specialized tissue, and that specialized tissue that is found in our body is commonly known as endocrine glands. I have already told you about that. This endocrine gland is commonly known as ductless glands because they do not have any kind of duct, and they just secrete their secretion directly into the bloodstream. The hormones that is poured directly into the blood is carried throughout the body by the blood circulatory system, and the hormones that act on the specific tissue, or we can say the specific organ in the body, and that specific tissue or that specific organ in the body is commonly known as target sites. The hormone is produced by the endocrine glands is one part of the human body but causes a particular effect in other part of the body. That hormone that is produced by the endocrine gland is in the one part of the human body, but that causes the particular effect in the other part of the body also. Hormones are of many different types and they perform the different functions in the body. Human hormones involved in the development and the control of the reproductive organs, and the main function is that they involved in the development as well as the control of the reproductive organs and secondary sexual characteristics called sex hormones. So the hormones that is mainly involved in the control of the reproductive organ and secondary sexual characteristics is commonly known as sex hormones. And there are two common types of sex hormones, testosterone and estrogen. Testosterone is the type of the sex hormone of a male and estrogen is the type of sex hormone of a female. So we are going to talk about these two types of hormones. In case of boys, the testes begins to release a male hormone that is known as testosterone, and the girl's ovaries begins to produce a female hormone that is commonly known as estrogen, which makes the breast develop. Milk secreting glands or mammary glands develop inside the breast. The production of these hormones is under the control of the another hormone in the endocrine gland, and that type of gland is known as pituitary gland. So these hormone secretion is under the control of the other type of endocrine gland, and that is commonly known as pituitary gland. We are going to talk about the pituitary gland in this chapter also. Now the role of the hormones in initiating the reproductive function. So in initiating the reproductive function, what are the roles of these hormones? There are many endocrine glands or ductless glands in the body. The testes and ovaries secretes the sex hormones. The testes secretes a type of sex hormone that is known as testosterone, and the ovaries secretes the sex hormone that is known as estrogen. So testosterone is a type of sex hormone in case of male, and estrogen is a type of the sex hormone in case of female. These sex hormones are under the control of the hormones from the pituitary gland. Means these all hormone secretion is under the control of another type of hormone that is secreted by a type of endocrine gland that is commonly known as pituitary gland. The pituitary gland secretes many hormones, one of which makes the ova mature in the ovaries and the sperm and form in the testes. These pituitary hormones secretes many kinds of hormones that causes the maturation of the ova in the ovaries and sperms in the testes. So this kind of role is played by the pituitary gland. Now the onset of the puberty is controlled by the hormones. Now we are going to talk about this. The onset, or we can say the beginning of the puberty, is mainly controlled by the hormones. As we know that the hormones from the pituitary gland stimulate the testes and ovaries to release the sex hormones. The function of the pituitary glands is to release the hormones, and that hormones mainly stimulates or increases the or activate the testes or ovaries to release the sex hormones like testosterone in males and estrogen in females. Then after the sex hormones reach at the specific part of the body. Then after the secretion, the second step is what? They just reaches to the specific part of the body, and that is commonly known as target site, and they reaches to the specific part of the body through the blood. Then after the third and the last step is what? The hormone stimulates the changes in the body, and they stimulates or increases the action or just activate the changes in the body. So this is about the onset of the puberty is controlled by the action of the hormones. So students, these are the certain topics that I have told you today. So I have told you about that adolescence, what is puberty, and what are the changes that takes place in boys and girls during this puberty stage, and what is the role of the hormones. I have told you that what is hormone and what are the roles of the hormones during this adolescence period or the puberty stage in the bodies of the boys and girls. So these topics that I have covered today, there are certain questions that is given to your book related to the topics. The exercises are given, so you just try to do the exercises yourself and revise all the topics, all the things that I have taught you today, and must try to complete your work on time. So students, thank you. Do your studies well.